Hey everyone, Kedar here. In today's video, we're diving into an eye-opening topic of a 63% increase on your Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, and SSI checks. I've got all the details you need, so let's get into it and explore what this means for you and your finances. First, let me ask you a quick question that might sound a bit tricky, but it's not. If your benefits were 63.6% higher than they are right now, do you think that would benefit you and improve your lifestyle? I know it might seem like a straightforward question, and the answer is probably a resounding yes. Of course, having a 63.6% increase in your benefits would make a huge difference. For many of us, that would mean hundreds, or even thousands, of extra dollars each month. Imagine how that extra money could enhance your daily life and financial stability. So, why are we talking about this? There's some new reporting that's come out, shedding light on this very issue. I want to break it all down for you so you can clearly understand what this increase could mean for your benefits, your lifestyle, and the changes we've seen over the past several years. But before we dive into the details, could I ask you for a favor? If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button right down below the video. Join the nearly 500,000 people who are already part of our community. Your support means a lot and helps us keep bringing you the latest updates and valuable information. I'm here every day, keeping an eye on the headlines, doing the research, and advocating on your behalf. I answer your questions and do everything I can to keep you informed about anything that might impact your money, benefits, or lifestyle. There's a lot changing right now, and it's a busy time with many proposals and potential changes to our benefits. So, thank you so much for subscribing and being part of our community. Now, let's talk about what's really happening. To fully understand the impact of this potential 63.6% increase, we need some background. Over the past 20 to 30 years, prices for goods and services have increased significantly. Just think about it, everything from a dozen eggs to healthcare costs has gone up. The average increase in prices over this time period is a staggering 144.5%. What does this mean? It means that the purchasing power of your dollars has diminished over the years. This phenomenon is often referred to as the erosion of money or inflation. Simply put, your dollars are worth less now than they were before. Let me give you a quick example. Think back to when you were younger, maybe as a kid or a teenager. When you had $1, you could buy quite a bit with it. Fast forward to today, and what can you get for $1? Almost nothing. Maybe a small pack of Tic Tacs if you're lucky. This stark difference highlights the erosion of purchasing power. Your money is losing value, which makes it harder to stretch those dollars as far as you used to. Understanding this context is crucial when we talk about potential increases in benefits. A 63.6% raise would be a significant boost, especially in light of the devaluation of money over time. It could help counteract some of the negative effects of inflation and improve your financial situation. In conclusion, the idea of a 63.6% increase in your benefits is not just a theoretical scenario, it's a real possibility that could have a profound impact on your financial well-being. We've seen how inflation erodes the value of our money, and such an increase could provide much-needed relief. Stay tuned as we continue to explore these topics and bring you the latest updates on what's happening with your benefits. Let's break this down in detail so you can fully understand what's happening. First, let's talk about the depletion of purchasing power, also known as the erosion of money. Essentially, this means that the value of your money is decreasing over time due to inflation. Inflation is a term we often hear, and it's a key factor in understanding why your dollars don't stretch as far as they used to. Here's a quick refresher on what inflation does. Over time, the prices of goods and services increase. This means that what you could buy for $1 a few years ago now costs more. This phenomenon is what we call inflation, and it reduces the real value of your money. So, when we talk about inflation, we're discussing how the cost of living rises, making your dollars less valuable. Now, let's consider how this has played out with your benefits. Over the past 20 to 30 years, the price of goods and services has surged by an average of 144.5%. That's a significant increase. But here's the key question: how much have your benefits increased during the same period? This is where the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA, comes into play. The purpose of COLA is to adjust your benefits to keep up with inflation. In theory, if the cost of living goes up by 5%, your COLA should also be 5%. However, this is not always the case in reality. Especially in recent years, the COLA has not kept pace with the actual rate of inflation. In the last 20 to 30 years, benefits have increased by 81% due to COLAs. While an 81% increase is certainly significant and beneficial, it's not enough to keep up with the 144.5% rise in prices. This discrepancy leaves a gap of 63.6%. Essentially, your benefits haven't increased as much as the cost of living has, meaning your purchasing power has been reduced. Let's break this down further. Over the years, even though there have been annual adjustments to your benefits, these adjustments have often fallen short of covering the actual increase in prices. For example, each year, the COLA might only slightly lag behind the rise in prices, by fractions of a percent. While these small annual increases seem minor on their own, over time, they add up and result in a significant shortfall. One of the best tools we have to grow our money over time is compounding. Compounding works when time and interest build on each other, resulting in increased value. However, in this case, negative compounding has worked against beneficiaries. The small annual increases in benefits, when compounded over many years, are not enough to keep up with the overall rise in prices. So, over decades, even small discrepancies between inflation and COLAs can lead to a considerable reduction in purchasing power. What might seem like a small annual shortfall has compounded into a major issue. In summary, while COLAs have increased benefits by 81% over the past few decades, this hasn't been enough to keep pace with the 144.5% rise in prices. The 63.6% gap represents the erosion of purchasing power, making it clear that benefits haven't kept up with the cost of living. Understanding this gap is crucial. It highlights the challenges faced by those on fixed incomes, as the purchasing power of benefits continues to diminish despite adjustments. I hope this explanation helps you better grasp the impact of inflation on your benefits and why it's essential to stay informed about these changes. Now let's see how inflation affects our Social Security benefits and why we're seeing a significant erosion in purchasing power over time. Let's start by discussing the concept of compounded effects over long periods. When we talk about the impact of inflation and cost of living adjustments, we're dealing with incremental changes that might seem minor year by year. But these small differences add up over time, and that's where the real issue lies. Imagine this: 10 years ago, let's say the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, went up by 1%. During the same period, the prices of goods and services increased by 1.3%. This means there was a shortfall of 0.3% between the COLA increase and the actual rise in prices. It doesn't seem like a huge discrepancy in just 1 year, but this is where the problem begins to take shape. Fast forward to the next year. Prices have risen by 1.6%, but the COLA has only increased by 1.2%. Now, we're dealing with a 0.4% discrepancy. Each year, these small gaps accumulate. Over a decade or more, these seemingly minor differences can result in a substantial overall shortfall. To illustrate this further, let's consider the cumulative effect. If this pattern of small discrepancies continues year after year, it compounds into a larger and more significant problem. Over the past 20 to 30 years, this pattern has led to a 63.6% gap between the increase in benefits and the actual rise in prices. While benefits have increased by 81% due to COLAs, prices have surged by 144.5%. This discrepancy is why we're seeing such a significant decline in purchasing power. It's important to understand that this isn't about one sudden huge adjustment. Instead, it's about how small, incremental changes each year lead to a large cumulative effect over time. This ongoing issue contributes to the financial struggles many seniors face today. So, why is this happening? The root of the problem lies in how cost of living adjustments are calculated. While there have been discussions about switching from the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPIW, to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, CPIE, these changes alone may not solve the underlying issue. The real need is for more accurate reporting of price increases to ensure that COLAs truly reflect the actual cost of living. To put it simply, even if we were to switch inflation measures, it wouldn't necessarily address the core issue. We need accurate and realistic reporting of price changes to ensure that COLAs keep pace with the actual cost of living. In conclusion, while we're not suggesting that there will be a 63.6% increase in benefits overnight, it's clear that if COLAs had kept up with real price increases over the years, benefits would be significantly higher today. This is why many seniors are experiencing financial difficulties, because their benefits haven't kept up with the true cost of living. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments about this topic, please drop them below. I'll do my best to address them in future videos or in the comments section. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's free and always will be. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more insights and information. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.